She slammed her Lexus straight into my tractor during corn harvest, then called the cops on me, said I attacked her, said I used a weaponized vehicle. And for a few long seconds as the sirens echoed down that gravel road, I wondered if she'd actually pull it off, if that woman with the clipboard and fake smile could ruin me on my own land. My name's Wade Coburn. 22 years in the Army, most of them overseas. I came home to quiet cornfields and a rusted red barn trying to rebuild what was left of my father's farm. I wasn't chasing peace, I was rebuilding it. The land had been in my family for 3 generations, cracked soil that once grew corn taller than me. I thought the battles were behind me. Turns out they'd just changed uniforms. The HOA in Stone Creek Estates sat right up against my western fence line. A row of cookie-cutter homes with perfect lawns and mailboxes painted to match. They called themselves a community. I called them tourists in beige boxes. And leading their crusade for suburban perfection was Karen, president of the HOA, self-appointed sheriff of everyone's business. She showed up on my 3rd morning back. I hadn't even finished my 2nd cup of coffee when I heard that knock, not polite, not curious, but demanding. I opened the door to a woman in her 50s, hair sprayed into a helmet, sunglasses perched on her head like a crown clipboard clutched like a sword. "You're the new occupant?" she asked, peering into my house like she had jurisdiction. "I'm the owner," I said. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. "Karen, president of Stone Creek HOA. We just wanted to welcome you and clarify a few property expectations." I almost laughed. "This isn't part of Stone Creek. That line of fence out back. That's the boundary. My land's agricultural. Always has been." Her smile twitched. "We have visual covenants, Mr. Coburn. What happens on adjacent properties affects our community value, for example tractors or unsightly equipment." I blinked at her. "Are you serious?" "Stone Creek is committed to maintaining aesthetic standards," she said. "Chin high. We expect cooperation." I stared long enough that she started shifting on her heels, then she huffed and left. I figured that was it. Just another self-important neighbor. I was wrong. By the end of the week, I got a typed notice slipped under my door accusing me of visual nuisance. It cited HOA bylaws that didn't even apply outside their neighborhood. I tossed it straight in the trash. The next day, a drone hovered above my field. Later, a friend forwarded me a screenshot from the HOA newsletter, a photo of my tractor captioned, "New neighbor raises safety concerns." I should have been angry, but mostly I was just tired. I'd fought for freedom overseas. Now I had to defend my right to farm my own soil. Still, I ignored her. Fixed irrigation, rebuilt fences, replaced belts on the tractor. She sent more letters. Code enforcement showed up once, saw the zoning documents, and left shaking their heads. But I could feel the tension building. Neighbors started giving me side eyes. Someone egged my mailbox. Every time Karen drove by in that silver Lexus, she slowed down to take photos. When harvest season rolled around, I tried to pretend she didn't exist. I woke up before sunrise, fired up the tractor, and started cutting the first rows. The smell of diesel and dirt, it reminded me I was home. Halfway through the morning, I spotted her at the fence line, wearing a red tracksuit and a sun hat big enough to shade Texas, filming me with her phone. I kept working. When I stopped to wipe sweat from my face, she started yelling something about dust noise and her patio cushions. "It's corn harvest, Karen," I said. "Been done this way for decades. This is a residential area," she snapped. "You're disturbing the peace. This is my property," I said calm. "Zoned agricultural. You live next to a farm. Farms make dust." She turned beet red. "You'll hear from the HOA." I raised an eyebrow, and that was enough to send her storming off. That night I got an email. Subject line, "Urgent Community Concern." It was a formal cease operations letter from her demanding I stop harvesting until a review could be conducted. I laughed out loud. She had zero authority. I forwarded it to my lawyer, Jeff Carson, an old friend from high school who specialized in land law. His reply was one line, "Keep every piece of evidence. She's about to hang herself." 2 days later, I woke up to a new sign planted just beyond my fence. Caution, dangerous farm machinery. Children and pets at risk. Her phone number printed in bold. I took photos, time-stamped, saved them. The county inspector came by again, rolled his eyes, and signed off that I was in the clear. But by then I could feel it. She wasn't trying to win legally. She was trying to wear me down. That night I sat on the porch, coffee gone cold, staring at the fields. For the first time I wondered if I'd made a mistake moving back. Maybe peace wasn't meant for me. Maybe people like Karen always win because they never get tired of fighting. I thought about selling, walking away. But then I looked at the old barn light flickering against the night, and I heard my father's voice in my head. You don't quit on land that remembers your name. So I didn't. I fought back my way quietly. I installed 3 security cameras around the property, 1 over the gate, 1 on the barn, 1 hidden inside a fence post facing her side. Then I waited. Days passed. She filed new complaints, noise, dust, aggressive posture from my tractor. Then one Saturday it happened. I was working near the east field when I heard a car engine roaring down the gravel easement. Too fast, too close. I turned just in time to see her Lexus barreling toward me. She didn't brake. She slammed straight into the front quarter panel of my tractor. Metal crunched, dust exploded, her horn blared. She jumped out, phone already in hand, screaming, "He attacked me. He tried to kill me with that machine." I didn't move, didn't say a word, just looked at her. And then up at camera 3, blinking red. She grabbed a rock and hurled it at the tractor's windshield. It cracked a perfect spider web right across the glass. I just stood there, arms crossed, heart hammering. 10 minutes later, Officer Cordell arrived, the same young cop she'd filed noise complaints with before. She rushed to him, voice trembling, acting like the victim in some daytime drama. He left it there to intimidate me. Look what he did to my car. Cordell didn't say much. He just walked over, looked at the dent in my tractor, then at the tire tracks showing her car had crossed onto my land. You got any cameras? Wade. 3 angles, I said. All time-stamped. He nodded. You want to press charges? I just want the truth on record. He pocketed the flash drive and drove off, leaving Karen sputtering on the roadside, demanding a supervisor. That night my lawyer called. Got your footage. It's airtight. She's cooked. By morning the county zoning maps proved it too. The gravel road she claimed was community access wasn't even HOA property. They had no jurisdiction, no right to regulate a damn thing. Still, Karen didn't stop. She came storming back the next day, standing at the fence like a general about to declare war. You think you're clever, she hissed. Manipulating law enforcement, turning the community against me. This isn't over. I handed her an envelope. Zoning files, easement documents, permits. Shows exactly how much authority you don't have. Her eyes flickered. We'll see about that. You've declared war, Mr. Coburn? She grabbed a handful of corn husks from my trailer and threw them at me. I didn't flinch. I'd seen worse tantrums in Kabul. That afternoon I installed a steel gate across the easement road just beyond the HOA line. A clear sign hung on it. Private agricultural property. Not subject to HOA regulation. By evening the HOA's Facebook page exploded. Half the neighbors sided with her, half with me. One woman wrote, "Maybe if we stopped harassing the only man around here growing food, we'd all sleep better." That comment got 20-something likes. The cracks in her empire had begun to show. But Karen wasn't done. When fear stops working, people like her turn to lawsuits. 2 weeks later, I got a certified letter she was suing me for emotional distress, defamation, and disruption of community harmony. I brought it straight to Jeff. He grinned. Perfect. We'll countersue for vandalism, harassment, and malicious prosecution. Let's give the judge a show. Court came fast. Karen walked in dressed like she was running for Congress, bright red suit, sunglasses, indoors. Her lawyer droned on about my industrial machinery and hostile conduct. I sat still, arms crossed. Then Jeff stood up. Calm, measured, lethal. He played the footage, the crash, the rock, the 911 call where she pretended to cry. Then he handed over the county records showing the HOA had zero jurisdiction over my road. Finally, he pulled out bank statements, Public records I'd found proving Karen had been paying herself $500 a month in administrative overhead plus thousands in landscaping fees to her nephew. The courtroom went silent. The judge leaned forward. "Ms. Nitor," he said slowly, "did you inform your board about these payments?" "They were standard," she stammered. "Industry standard." He nodded once, stone-faced, then turned to me. "Mr. Coburn, do you wish to pursue criminal charges?" I looked at my calloused hands, the ones that had held rifles and wrenches, and now just wanted peace. "No, Your Honor. I just want to be left alone." The gavel came down hard. Her lawsuit dismissed with prejudice. She was ordered to pay for the tractor damage, my legal fees, and a fine for false reporting. The HOA was placed under financial audit. When it was over, I walked out of that courthouse into the sunlight, breathing deeper than I had in years. There was no cheering crowd, no celebration, just quiet, the kind you earn. Karen lost her presidency that same week. The board voted her out. She packed up her Lexus and left without saying goodbye. The sign in her yard went up the next morning, "For sale." I didn't smile. I didn't gloat. I just stood at my fence line watching the wind roll through the stalks of winter rye. The land was calm again. Funny thing about people like Karen, they think silence means victory. But the truth is, silence only comes after the loudest storm has burned itself out. And if there's one thing I've learned from all this, it's that standing your ground isn't about winning. It's about reminding the world that some things, land truth and self-respect, aren't up for negotiation.